You don't need to like, not now.
Okay.
Let us begin our meditation, metta meditation. You may listen very attentively and let these thoughts enter your mind and sincerely wish that what we recite come true and be beneficial to us as well as to others. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth. May all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving kindness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment. Whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or in the bed, one should develop this mindfulness. This is called divine living here. Not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasure. One comes never again to birth in the womb. These are very powerful, meaningful thoughts that we all cultivate in our mind. Only those who cultivate them in their mind would be benefited from this recital. So we have to begin our meditation, regular meditation with metta meditation. Metta meditation itself is very meaningful practice. It also all-pervasive practice, embracing all living beings. It should go beyond all boundaries, break all barriers, and reach all living beings. That is our very earnest wish. Whether it happens to others or not, we really don't know. But this thought definitely affects us, our minds, and make us peaceful and happy, full of metta. So with this thought, we begin our regular practice. Metta itself can be made a regular practice. If somebody wants to do that, that's a wonderful practice. So with this thought in mind, keep paying attention to your breath. As I mentioned yesterday, keep body straight, upright, and relaxed. And let your lungs be filled with fresh air that we breathe in, and slowly breathe in, slowly breathe out, at least for 10, 15 times. And then breathe normally, letting the breath flow in and out. Notice the long inhaling as long inhaling, long exhaling as long exhaling, short inhaling as short inhaling, short exhaling as short exhaling. And notice the entire breathing, the beginning, middle, and end of each inhaling and each exhaling. Beginning of inhaling, you notice at the tip of your nose as breath touches the nostril. Middle of inhaling is the expansion of the chest area. End of inhaling is the expansion of lower abdominal area as diaphragm pushes down. Beginning of exhaling is you feel at the lower abdomen as diaphragm comes back. Middle of exhaling is your lungs area. End of exhaling is again the tip of your nostrils. And this gives you an awareness of whole breathing process from the beginning to the end of inhaling, from the beginning to the end of exhaling. When we do that, we also notice the gross breath becomes subtle breath. And it goes on becoming subtler and subtler and subtler. Then it will be easy for us to become aware of the impermanence, non-clinging, cessation, and total disappearance or letting it go. Once the breath escapes our nostrils, it goes and mixed with the rest of the air outside. So we don't know where it went. That is what is called abandoning, not chasing after. The new breath arises in similar way as previous breath and does the same thing. Long, short, beginning, middle, end, and rising and falling, non-clinging, cessation, and disappearance. This is very important. This is awareness of the breathing process. As we keep focusing mind on it, as the breath becomes very subtle and soft and gentle, body is calm, mind is calm, breath is calm and relaxed. As I mentioned yesterday, at that time, sometimes you may feel sleepy. Try not to give into sleepiness. Although sleepiness is very sweet, welcoming feeling, but sleep itself does not give us any insight. So we have to overcome sleepiness by doing certain things like visualizing very bright light. When the light is visualized, the sleepiness fades away. If you cannot visualize light, then you may open your eyes, roll your eyeballs, try to practice meditation with open eyes focused on the floor, not too far from you. That also sometimes help overcoming sleepiness. If that doesn't work, as I said yesterday, without disturbing anybody, quietly stand up and stay for a while until sleepiness fades away, and then sit down. We also recommend, depending on the availability of space, when we are feeling we feel sleepy, stand up and do standing meditation and walk slowly. But in our present situation, that seems to be a little uncomfortable. because there is not much room for everybody to sleep and everybody to walk. And therefore, it may not be possible, but try to stay awake while sitting. Once you overcome sleepiness, as I mentioned yesterday, the other end of this spectrum can take place. That is restlessness and worry. Either you may remember something that you have done incompletely, or some traumatic experience, or something you may remember, and then mind becomes restless, and that restlessness can lead to worrying. So we must bring our mind back to the breath again and again to overcome restlessness and worry. Or you may be thinking of the future. Future is not come yet, and therefore we cannot know the future. What we can know is what is happening now, this moment. Even if you remember something from the past, you remember it now. If you think of the future, you think of the future now. So what is more important is knowing, becoming aware of the present moment. With this awareness, we can stay in the present moment, and then sometimes resentment can arise, anger can arise. We have to overcome by remembering our metta practice. Also, we can overcome resentment when we see impermanent nature of everything. The object we would be resenting is impermanent. You are impermanent. Your memory of resentment is impermanent. They all appear and disappear. That helps us to overcome resentment or anger. And if you have doubt about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, dependent origination, karma, rebirth, and so on, think of the qualities of the Buddha. Have full confidence in the Buddha. Trust the Buddha. Buddha's compassion, wisdom is boundless. If we imagine wisdom of all living beings on earth today, put them on one side and put the Buddha's wisdom on the other side, still the Buddha's wisdom is greater than the wisdom of all other living beings put together. Buddha's compassion is greater than the compassion of all other living beings put together. With this utmost, greatest wisdom, compassion, he taught us Dhamma. Following Dhamma that he taught, millions of people attain enlightenment, liberate themselves from suffering, and we too can liberate ourselves from suffering if we have trust in the Buddha and follow his advice. Once we overcome these hindrances, mind can become calm, relaxed, peaceful, and gain concentration. Concentration, together with mindfulness, can see us ourselves more clearly and precisely. And that is the purpose of our meditation, to see us as we are. We try to keep focus in mind on our breathing and see how breath is coming and going, appearing and disappearing, the feeling appearing and disappearing, perceptions appearing and disappearing, thoughts appearing and disappearing, consciousness appearing and disappearing. Because that is what is happening to them, the body, feeling, perception, thought and consciousness. And therefore, seeing them exactly as they are, we will be able to overcome our greed, hatred and delusion. Nature of the notion of self. With these few words, I'd like to stop and let us spend some time, at least next half an hour, meditating. Dhanam Anyasya Anyanakirayatu Yamidhanancha Anyacha Sridhva Shantike. There is no concentration without wisdom, no wisdom without concentration. One who has both wisdom and concentration is close to peace and emancipation. Hey, good morning. We want to continue our talk. When we practice mindfulness meditation, any object that appears in our mind through our senses can be used as an object of vipassana meditation. Now there are four foundations of mindfulness: the body, feelings, perceptions, and the mind objects. Perception, mind objects are one, body, feeling, and mind mental states and mind objects. These are called Kaya, Vedana, Chitta, Dhamma in Pali. Body, feelings, and mental states of, and mind objects. These are the four foundations of mindfulness. These four are called our domain of field of meditation practice. We must, the Buddha called them as our ancestral field, ancestral domain. There is a very little, very cute story in Samyutta Nikaya story of quail and hawk. Quail is a very tiny little bird. Hawk is a big bird. This quail one day was basking in the sun, and then suddenly a hawk came and grabbed him. Then the quail began to cry. I'm very unlucky. This is my unlucky day. I'm so poor. Had I been in my own ancestral field, this hawk, I beat this hawk in a fight. While he was in the hawk's mouth, he began to talk like this. Then hawk asked him, you are in my mouth and you are still boasting of your strength. You think you can defeat me in a fight. Then the hawk asked him, where is your ancestral field? Quail said, can you see the field over there, which is newly plowed with big clod of mud? That is my ancestral field. Okay. Hawk knew his strength. He said, okay, I bring you back to your ancestral field and live there. But remember, tomorrow I will come and get you. Quail said, yes, okay. So he dropped him in his field, ancestral field. And then next day, Quail came out and still standing on a big lump of mud, and bathing in the sun. Then a hawk came down. As he was coming down, Quail immediately went under one lump of mud, one heap of mud. And the hawk came and looked for him. He could not find him. Then hawk was very upset, disappointed, angry, and beat his own breast and flew away. Buddha gave this beautiful story. He made stories, like this to make his points clear. And then Buddha said, bhikkhus, your ancestral field, domain, is your own four foundations of mindfulness. If you stay there, Mara will not come and get you. This hawk is like the Mara. The little quail is like us. We are like quails. And our field is very big. Four foundations of mindfulness. If we use four foundations of mindfulness diligently, Mara cannot attack us. Mara cannot get us. What is the Mara? Who is the Mara? Most of the time, these people think they personified Mara with with the long teeth and like, bunch of banana teeth coming out of mouth and hair on the body everywhere. It's all kind of demonish looking being. But that is not the Mara Buddha meant. Buddha meant our defilements in our mind. 10 of them he listed, 10 Maras. It's said in Sutta Nipada, Kamate Patamasena, Dutiya Arati Ujjati, Tatya Kupipadhaja, Dhanna Chatutti Paujjati, Panchami Thinami Tante, Mano Thammo Se Satyami, Labo Silopo Sakkaro, Mitya Lagyo Soyaso, Attanam Se Samukhansi, Parancha Avajanavi, Ete Namajute Mahasena, Dhannappami Muchana, Nesuro Kinati, Surancha, Suroja, Vindati, like that. Greed is number one, karma. Karma is liking. When we see object, when the object is present to us, we have three kinds of feelings. Three kinds of feelings. But in the same discourse, we talked about mindfulness discourse, Mahasatipatthana Sutta. There are 60 moments that arises in our minds of craving to arise. Every single day, 60 moments. Through the eye, 10 moments. Through the ears, 10 moments. Through the nose, 10 moments. Through the tongue, 10 moments. Through the body, 10 moments. Through the mind, 10 moments. So we have 60 senses. 6 senses. And from each sense, we have 10 moments for greed to arise. In each sense, 10 moments arise for the greed to arise. So 6 times 10, 60 moments. Now, this is in another discourse, it's called mental exploration. So, Buddha asked us to explore this greed, how they arise in our mind. Explore. For instance, when we see an object, 3 kinds of feelings can arise. Pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Now the pleasantness is not in the object. Unpleasantness is also not in the object. Neutrality is not in the object. Where are they then? They are in our mind. Suppose There is a person and two people look at the person. One person like it, other person doesn't like. So the liking and disliking is in the object? No. In the own looker's mind. Not in the object. If the pleasantness or unpleasantness is in the object, everybody should see the object either pleasant or unpleasant. This is not so. Also, there is a man or woman. I mean, for gross example, this is a very common thing. There is a woman and there's a man. That man liked this woman very much. He would dedicate everything in his life to possess this woman. He liked very much. And then later on, he find this woman talking, laughing, joking with another man. Then does this man have the same loving, greedy thought towards that woman? No. Previously, he was so much attached to the woman. Now, he does not. Similarly, if a woman loves a man, she would do anything for this man. Later on, she sees him with talking with another woman, laughing, joking, walking. Would that woman have the same attachment to that man after that? No. The man who loved first a woman would hate her when he sees her with another man. Woman who loved a man first would hate him later on when she sees him with another woman. So this love and hate is not in the woman or in the man. Love and hate is in our own mind. So neutral, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, or neutral feeling does not come from the object. Where does it come from then? It comes from our own way of thinking, our own ignorance, our own greed, our own hatred. They are in our own minds. When we hear a sound, the sound itself doesn't have pleasantness or unpleasantness. If the sound has pleasantness or unpleasantness, everybody must have the same feeling. With regard to object, I'll tell you my own personal experience. When I was in Malaysia, a friend of mine, he was an artist. He brought some pieces of art, pictures that he drew by himself. for an exhibition in Malaysia. Big box came, with the box open. On the top of on the pictures, the first one I saw in the box was so ugly. I told him, why did you bring this? Do you think this anybody would buy this? But they don't worry. Let us go to the exhibition. Open the box. The ugliest picture I saw was bought by a man paying $50,000. See, for him, it was such a beautiful piece of art. Surrealism. For me, it was the ugliest picture. This is a very good example I learned to relate to the Buddha's teaching. Similarly, sound, some people like jazz, this quick music, all kind of music. Some people like classical. Some people hate classical. Some people hate jazz. If classical music, Beethoven, for instance, Bach, if it is so good, everybody should like it. Or if it's so bad, everybody would hate it. It is not so. It is in the mind of people. When we hear certain sound, the very same sound may, very same sound arouse hatred in somebody's mind. In somebody's mind, greed, desire, love arises. Languages. When you listen to certain language, it is so irritating. But for some people, it is beautiful. So, smell. Human beings don't like to smell something bad. Even among human beings, there are some who like the smell. For instance, durian. Have you seen durian? Tasted durian? For some, durian is very, very good smelling. For some, they will throw up when you smell durian. Therefore, in certain hotels, there is a rule that no durian would be brought into the hotel. Some people, it is said, sell their property to eat durian. If the durian is so good, giving good smell, everybody would like it. Perfumes. Perfumes is a molecule hurt some people's nose. But for some, it is very sweet smell. Sweet giving, but a very sweet smell. Like that, it is not in the perfume itself that sweetness or unsweetness there. Some people like bitter gourd. There is a leaf in Sri Lanka called Anguna Kola. That's some leaves.
Some people like it very much, some people don't like it. The taste and touch and the thought. So, Buddha said, it is not the qualities that we attribute to them are not in the object themselves, but we create them in our mind through our greed, hatred, and delusion. And therefore, Buddha said, when greed arises or pleasant thought arises in the mind, we must focus our mind on the pleasant thought arisen in the mind, not on the object. Not on the object. And look at this thought, this pleasant feeling that is arisen in the mind, and see this feeling is mentally created. This is conditioned. This is arisen dependently, not independently. This is impermanent. This, therefore, is unsatisfactory. This is not myself. Netam mama, ne sohamasmi, name sohanta. This is not I. This is not mine. This is not myself. This is arisen paticca samuppanna. This is arisen dependent on various causes and conditions. When the causes and conditions disappear, this disappears. In dependent origination discourse, it says, imasmin sati dhammo, when this arises, this arises. When this passes away, this passes away. In the absence of this does not arise. In the presence of this arises. So, this is called a way of seeing things as they really are. Seeing things as they really are. So we use our body, feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness as they are. You must see them as they are. So, in order to get rid of our greed, we must not look at the object outside, but look at our own mind. And see how this particular mental state is arisen and what it does to me, how it disappears, what I should do to make it disappear. This is what is called seeing with mindfulness. There are so many things to see, our time is very short. In the body, mindfulness of the body, let us take mindfulness of the body. At the end of, in the particular discourse Buddha mentioned, the same thing Buddha repeated 21 times in this discourse. Mindfulness of the body 21 times. That is, Iti adhyattam kaya karana pasiviti vahindava kaya karana pasiviti adhyatta vahindava kaya karana pasiviti samudaya dhamman pasiva kasmin girati vaidhamman pasiva kasmin girati samudaya vaidhamman pasiva kasmin girati Atthikayo jivapana sati pattikatita hoti yavadev jnanamatta pati satimattaya anisthito jivirati nati kinchilopi upadiyati. Let me explain this passage. This passage is 21 times repeated in mindfulness of the body itself. 21 times. So let me explore the meaning of this little passage. Atthikayo jivapana sati pattikatita. The body exists not for anything else. Yavadev jnanamattaya pati satimattaya. In order to arouse my wisdom and mindfulness, this body exists for me to develop my insight and wisdom. What is the wisdom? Udayabbe jnana. Wisdom is, jnana means wisdom, knowledge. Knowledge of rising and falling. The body exists for me to understand, to gain the wisdom of rising and falling. Because this body, every part of the body, as I mentioned yesterday, is rising and passing away in a very minutest way. Every molecule, this body is made up of molecules, atoms. And every little part of this molecule or atom is constantly, continuously changing, rising and passing, rising and passing. In other places, Buddha says, Ahara samdaya, rupa samdayo. Ahara samdaya, rupa samdayo. When we bring food to the body cells build up. When we do not take food, it's very simple biological factor. When we don't have food, there are 4 kinds of food, at least the material food and drink, we have to consume. We all know it is a very common sense. If you do not consume food, our body cells will die, not only of the deprivation of oxygen, but even material food we need to replace what is worn out every moment, every day. Sometimes we eat 3 times a day, sometimes 4 times a day, 5 times a day, in between nibbling a little bit, in order to keep this body alive. Why do we eat so many times? Yes, like I mentioned yesterday, why do we have to breathe so many times? Because what we take once, it will be worn out. You stop, disappear, and then we have to replace. Similarly, food we eat, digest, defecate, and finish. And then again, digest, assimilate, and discharge. We breathe, and absorb oxygen and discharge carbon dioxide. We use them up and discharge. So, the body we use only to gain the knowledge and wisdom. Wisdom and insight. Wisdom is that this body is constantly changing. Insight is in this body there is no something permanent. It doesn't belong to me. It is very difficult to convince people to understand that the body does not belong to them. To whom the body belongs to? There is no owner. If there is owner of the body, then this body the owner should be able to control the body. If there is an owner of the body, that owner should be able to control the body and stop falling sick, growing old, and dying. Body has no power somewhere hidden to stop all this. Because of causes and conditions it exists, when those causes and conditions do not exist, body does not exist. And therefore, neta mama, this is not mine. Buddha said, this is the wisdom we gain through observing the body. Very subtle and yet and profound and yet very, very real. Not just theories, not just a theory. That's a reality. Ne tamam ne sohamas, with this body, I am not the body. Although we think that I am the body is not I. And therefore, ne some atta, this is not any permanent eternal self. The body is not a self. There are 20 ways of thinking of self. 20 ways. These are wrong belief, but people tend to think. 20 ways, there are 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness. 5 aggregates. People think each of them 4 ways to substantiate their belief of self. What are the 4 ways? They think the body and self are identical, one. Identical. Or body is in the self. Or self is in the body. Or body and self are 2 separate entities. 4 ways. Similarly, feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness. So 4 times 5, 20. So in 20 ways, people think that there is a permanent self. When we mindfully look at the body, rising and falling, it exists depending on certain sources and conditions. Where is that permanent self? It is not there. It is not there. Of course, we use the word self, myself, I am, he is, she is, and so forth we use in order to make the communication easy. Otherwise, if you say these five aggregates talk to these five aggregates, nobody understands it. Just like we use today's, for instance, Sunday. Has anybody seen Sunday? Heard Sunday? Smelled Sunday? Touched Sunday? Nobody. But it is conventionally accepted term that we use in order just to communicate. Time is a convention. So we use time and these names, these are called concept, sanya. We use these sanyas, this concept, conventional concepts to make communications. If you have seen longitude, latitude, Capricorn, nobody has seen. But we use them to make communications easy. We say, I meet you at 3 o'clock on Monday, 3 o'clock afternoon. So we can use this, and we all agree on that, and meet on that. Like that, this I, my, mind is used in order to make communication easy. Otherwise, there is no any permanent entity in this. So when you mindfully look at the body, we only got the body. How about the feeling? How about the mind mental state? How about the mind object? All of them are like that. So when we develop a mindfulness, you see, this body exists for me to gain wisdom and insight. Anishyatoti viharati. This body is there for me not to cling to, not to grab. If we are clinging to, we are clinging to. The clinging is mere thought in the mind. Because there is nothing that we can cling. It is just like trying to grab air into a fist. Grab air into a fist. It is slipping away, disappearing. We cannot hold on to anything. Nachakinti loke upadhyati. We develop the mind to see that we are unable to hold on to anything. Everything we try to hold on to is slipping away. If we don't understand this, since we don't understand this, I mentioned at the beginning 5 purposes. Sorrow and lamentation. Why do we sorrow? Lament. Particularly, there are 2 people. One is our loved one, and the other one we hate. When the loved one dies, we grieve. When somebody whom we hate, when he dies or she dies, we rejoice. Thinking very good that he died. Because of our ignorance. So when we develop mindfulness, it is just the same whether the one whom we die, we hate, or one whom we love, die. Our mental attitude is the same, equanimous attitude. You know, liberation from samsaric suffering is not very easy if you do not understand the Dhamma. If you understand the Dhamma, liberating the mind from greed, hatred, and delusion is very easy. For this purpose, we practice meditation. When we try to unravel, decompress the subtle teachings of the Buddha, we can see enormous amount of information in any part of the Buddha's teaching. So, friends, you heard the bell. I just began to scratch the surface of the subject. In 2 days, I don't think you understood anything or I explained anything. I just tried to explain. And therefore, friends, keep thinking. This is a sort of kind of stimulus to stimulate our mind, to think of the profundity of the Buddha's teaching, mindfulness teaching, and we try to cultivate it, develop it, and put it into practice, not because of the words that I utter, that we can experience it within ourselves. Once you experience it within ourselves, then we don't need any books or teachers. We will realize the truth and liberate ourselves from suffering. So with this, I must end the talk, and this afternoon I will answer questions if you have any. Those who have signed up. One more thing I want to mention today. Today is a new moon day. Between 12:30 and 1:30, this place is closed to people. The monks have their fortnightly Uposatha, our linear karma. We do our sort of confession and so forth between 12:30 and 1:30. So this door will be closed and people don't come for meditation during that time. Okay? In this we want to end that today.
So